Welcome back to Dave's Shop. I'm Dave, and it is Friday. We made it to Friday. Can you believe it? I can't. Running a minute or two late. I had to do some adjustments this morning. Getting ready for Friday morning. Letting everybody grab their coffee. Got several things to cover this morning, but we're going to have fun this morning. We're going to do question for question. So we're going to kind of go around and let everybody get connected here. And then, good morning, Kim. Morning. It's Friday. You feel that? Hey, Steve, thank you for joining this morning. Here on Friday, we're getting a new little cold front pushed into central Texas today. It's not quite as cold as it has been, but they are saying it's going to get back down below 20 over the weekend. No precipitation this round, I believe. So if it's just cold weather and we don't have any ice, that's pretty good. I mean, we had people reporting that they had 5 and 6 inches of ice that had accumulated on their roofs, and finally just now, well, I'd say yesterday, the ice melted enough that sheets, you had to be careful because sheets of it started sliding off people's roofs and stuff. Morning, Nicole. How you doing this morning? So anyway, a couple of things. I'm just going to wait here, let everybody get connected here. But I've been talking about doing a giveaway, and I have something else in the works, but I've picked an item that I think I'm going to give away. I'll tell you that we're going to do a live drawing on the live so that everybody can see. I'll put everybody's names in a hat or something, and we'll stir them up, and then I'll pull somebody's name out. Iowa golfer, good morning. So when we get ready to do this, like I said, everybody that wants their name put in the drawing will have to send me an email. Don't need anything but your first and last name. And the only reason I need your last name is just in case you have a common last name. If you have an uncommon last name, probably not. But like if I have 5 people and their first name's Nicole, I'd need to be able to differentiate. So really what I'll have to have everybody do is send me an email to my Matthew, good morning. North 64 just joined, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Just talking about the giveaway that I'm planning on doing, and I just want to so here's what I'm going to give away for everybody that's here with me so far. I'm going to give away a Benchmade pocket knife. This is made in the United States. It's made in Oregon, and and it's it's not high, what I call super high end, but it's a great everyday pocket knife because it's not real big. It does have a little clip here on the side, a pocket clip. You can see it's pretty nice everyday carrying pocket knife, and it's super sharp. And here's the reason. It actually comes with a little I think I have it. I took it out while I was looking at it. But anyway, that's what we're going to give away. And ABC joined. Good morning. And so I'm just starting to let everybody know this is going to be the giveaway. So if you're interested and you want to participate in the giveaway, you can send me an email with your first and last names just for the drawing. I haven't set a date exactly what day we're going to draw on, but I will let everybody know. Because if you send me an email, I'm going to send you an email back letting you know what the date of the drawing is, just in case, because sometimes people are not here every day and I don't want anybody to miss out on the drawing, because I'll do the drawing during a live. And I picked this item because it doesn't weigh a lot, so it won't cost me a lot to ship it to you. You have to be inside the United States. I won't ship outside the United States. So you have to be in the US. If you are deemed, when we do the drawing, if you are the winner of this little pocket knife, then I will need you to send me an address and a contact phone number so that I can ship it to you. Anyway, for the people just joining on YouTube, we were talking about a giveaway. We're going to have a drawing, and I'm going to give away this Benchmade pocket knife. So everyone who is interested and wants to participate in the drawing will need to send me an email to Dave's Shop, the number 2, at gmail.com. Now I'm going to talk about this for a few days before we actually set a date on the drawing, because I want to, everybody doesn't join every day, and you have to be inside the United States for me to win. I won't ship outside the US. And I picked this because it doesn't weigh a whole lot, so it won't cost me a ton of money to ship it to you, as expensive as shipping has gotten. So anyway, if you're interested and you want to be entered in the drawing, Dave's Shop, number 2, at gmail.com. Dave's Shop, number 2, at gmail.com. So, and I'll talk about this again in a few days. And I have another item that I'm probably going to give away too, but not on this drawing. We're going to do, we'll have a second drawing for that one. And just so you know, these are items that were furnished to me by vendors on TikTok for me. And in return, I do a video. And I've made the decision that some of these items I'm going to give away in drawings, just because it's, my way to say thank you to all of you who are supporting my lives and come and engage and, all of that fun stuff. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit all the buttons, like, share, follow, so that I can do the same. Same thing on YouTube. Everybody's streaming there. If you can do me that big favor and like, share, and subscribe. But anyway, we're not giving this away today, so there's plenty of time. But probably by next week, I'll set a date of the day that we're going to do the drawing on. But what I need everybody to do is send me an email to daveshop number 2 at gmail.com with your first and last name. That's all I need at this point. If you turn out to be the winner, because I'm going to hold the drawing live, and you'll know what day the drawing is going to be. If your name's pulled, then I will need you to email, or I will email you, and I will then at that point need your complete ship to address and a contact phone number. So thank you everybody for joining. And we'll talk about this again for I'm going to give it a few days so that everybody knows, you know, what we're giving away. I'll take it out and just show everybody again because there wasn't very many people on. It's this pocket knife. It's got a little belt clip. It's great for just every day because it's not super heavy, so it won't be real heavy in your pocket. It's made by Benchmade right here in Oregon, so it's U.S. made, and you can see the details. You know, nice little knife. Anyway, so that's going to be a giveaway item. I have another item I'm also going to give away, but not in this drawing. We'll have a separate drawing for that. And anyway, Benchmade, and through TikTok, this was given to me, you know, because I'm going to do a video on it. So anyway, I decided I want to give it away. And so we're going to have a drawing as my way of saying thank you for all your support. And, you know, I thank you. I want to try to, you know, do more of these. And so if you have an opinion on it, or, you know, you want to participate, by all means, please send your entry to daveshop2@gmail.com. All right, we're going to move on from there. So if you're new here, let me know where you're from. Tell me how cold it is. We actually had a little northern blow in last night. I wasn't paying attention to the news this morning because I was doing some Bible study, trying to catch up. You know, sometimes I wake up and I have enough time to squeeze in some Bible study before I come out and start my day with the live. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And so today I had some time, so that's what I was doing. And anyway, so fun. Had a great Bible study last night with Ed. If you're ever interested and you want to join the Bible study on Thursday nights at 6:30 Central Standard Time, Ed from TikTok hosts it, but it's streamed on TikTok and YouTube. So if you have any questions, by all means, let me know. And I try to do a reminder on Thursdays that we're going to do Bible study that night. So, you know, you can come if you feel comfortable and you want to come. I'm extending an invite for Ed, since he's the one who actually holds the Bible study, but I know that we're all invited. So if you ever, you know, want to join our Bible study on Thursday nights, please join us. If you have any questions, you can ask me, or I can get you Ed's contact. He's Ed Oblonsky. He is on YouTube, so you can always go to his page too and reach out to him there. And you know, it started off as a men's Bible study, but really it's a everybody Bible study. So men, women, you know, if you're interested, you come join us. It's a great, you know, it usually lasts about 45 minutes, hour on the outside, depending on, you know, how the discussions go. But it's a great way to spend an hour of your week in the comfort of your home, maybe in your easy chair, hearing the word. So there you go. All right. So today, let me look here. Let me just get back to my messages here. Everybody jumped on. Here we go. Hey, Kim. I just want to recognize everybody. Vilnix joined on YouTube. Come on, man. I like it. Okay. Angry Honky. Okay. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Markel Anderson joined. Where did you get your watch, brother? Somebody asked me about this watch. This is pretty cool. Again, this here, I still have the box too. this is a watch. It's made by Carbonex, and it's compatible with Android and Apple. But I want to tell you, this is one bad mamma jamma. And it was a sample that was sent to me. It was a TikTok sample, being an affiliate. So there are some, some good things that come. I mean, there's been a lot of great things that come my way. But anyway, this was one of the items that I promote. It's in my showcase on TikTok. But check it out if you're interested. And here's the big key to this watch is, most of, and I can't say the name of the company, but we'll just call it the fruit watches, are a lot more expensive. I mean, lots more. They're $300-400, and I don't know what exactly the current price is on this, but I can tell you, the price difference was huge, and this watch will stay charged for up to 7 days. And I've tested it. It does. And I mean, just everyday use, it'll stay charged for about 7 days before you have to charge it again. Whereas the fruit watches, about 18 hours is the most that before they require charging. And it syncs with your phone. It has all the, sleep apps, the sports apps, your steps, you name it, it's on the watch. So, as an alternative, because I had a Samsung watch, and I still have it, and it's been a great watch, but I just didn't have several $100s to go out and buy a new one, and so yeah. So thank you, TikTok and Carbonex, for sending it to me. Anyway, yeah. So that answered the Markel's question about the watch. Kimberly Martinez joined. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all of the little icons. That's cute. I appreciate that. And then Sippy Drink 7015. Oh, well, whatever their message was rejected. Hopefully they're still on. So thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody over here on TikTok going crazy. Casey, hey, man. You have one of those, but you left it at home. Benjamin Klein, good morning. Thank you for joining. Jameson 57. Jameson, nobody asked about the watch on TikTok, but we're streaming TikTok and YouTube at the same time. So somebody asked for it on YouTube. So I try to go back and forth and answer everyone's questions. It's not. Oh my God. Only Chris would come up with that. Yeah. International superstar. Absolutely. It's been a long road, but it's a balmy 30 degrees in the Texas Panhandle today. Woo. I bet it is. Chris, is it windy there too? I got a 41 almost. Wow. Frank, hey, if anybody's looking for a new classic Oldsmobile, Frank over here on TikTok has a 1941 Olds two-door fastback for sale in eastern Iowa. Wow. That's pretty cool. Thanks for letting us know, Frank. I wish you could post a picture, because wouldn't that be great? I'm driving so I can listen. Okay. Yeah, be careful out there. I know Casey's down in South Texas, so the good thing is he's out of the ice. Kelly Rosenthal back for another day with Morning Coffee Talk. Thank you, Kelly, for returning. Good morning, everybody. It's 30 in Michigan. Well, 30 in Michigan, that's kind of like a heat wave, isn't it? Because it's been a whole lot colder. Did you see people in shorts? Heat wave. Yeah, exactly. That's good, Kelly. Thank you. Wow. Man, Casey, they got you going all over, all the way from South Texas. Now he's headed to Phoenix. Well, safe travels, that's for sure. You know, people, I sometimes, I always, admire Casey's work ethic because, he had a job locally and in a reorg, or maybe the guy was struggling. I don't know. He was mechanicking and had to let some people go, and Casey was in the group that got let go. And he picked himself up, put his boots on, and went out and started driving a truck for someone else, and now he's got his own lease truck. And when you have that and you're working for yourself like that, you're on the road a lot. So he's away from his family, and he's out there bringing products to all of us, so that when you go to Walmart or your local big box store, there's always stuff there. And we have to thank all the truck drivers that are out on the road traveling the United States all the time, away from their families, so that we get the products that we need on time. So thank you, Casey. Stay safe out there. And Casey joins when he can, and listens while he's driving. So anyway, he's on his way to Phoenix, and so he's got a pretty long drive, and there we go. That's correct. Casey is a perfect example of bouncing back, grabbing your bootstraps, and going to work. So we're all proud of him that's for dang sure. Sets a good example. You hear people all the time, they have hard times, and then they want people to, they're looking for a handout. And I'm not opposed to helping people who need help. But I've always said that you need to, man up. You might have to do something you don't particularly like to do, but you got to do what you got to do to support your family and take care of business. And that's exactly what Casey's done. So, Apache Junction, good morning, everybody. So, what I wanted to do today was, I wasn't trying to, I have one other thing. I wasn't going to turn this into a product show day, but there are a few things that, as an affiliate, that you get. And, some of the stuff I get, I'm like, yeah, it's good quality. And, I might buy it, I might not, just depends. And then there's a few things that you get that you're kind of surprised how well they work and how well you really like them. So I really am only showing you stuff that I was really impressed with, and that I thought was the value and what it sold for was worth the money. And I know maybe you may not have seen this if you've not been on TikTok, but this is another item it's not just sold on TikTok, but you can get it at the big A and pick it up there too. So either place, but if you want to help and go over to the TikTok shop if you want one of these and check them out, because they really do exactly what they're advertising. That's these little it's a blower is what it is, and it comes with comes in a case with a couple of batteries and a charger. These are 21-volt batteries, and this will literally blow the hair off your head. Look, see, I'll be here all week, don't worry. It's great. You can blow leaves, but the reason I like it is I keep it in the shop. I actually had to buy I got this one for free from the TikTok shop to do a video on. I had to go buy another one because my wife, because again, think about this. She sweeps off the porch and the patios, and she's been using a bigger blower, and she's always, say it's heavy, and it is heavy. And, her arm starts to hurt. So when she saw this, she goes, "You think that would?" And the next thing I knew, this was missing out of my shop. And I was like, where did that blower go? Because what I use it for is when I'm, woodworking and you got sawdust and I'm everywhere, and, you can just, I blew that box right off. Anyway, it works exactly like they say it does. They do not over exaggerate in their ads of how much power that it has. And so I had to go buy another one of those so that she could have one for blowing off the porches and around the doors, or whatever she uses it for. I always know she has it because you can hear it from out. I could be in the house and you can hear that thing going off out there on the patio. But she likes it because it doesn't weigh any more than like a drill, or I don't even know how much the dang thing weighs. It's not that heavy, even with the battery and stuff on it, but it works really well. So if you're looking for something like that is not real heavy, maybe for yourself, if you have a shop and you do woodworking, oh my God, they're great because you don't have to break out the big 40-volt. I have a Ryobi blower, or plug one into the wall. You can just keep a battery on that and have it sitting on your bench, and no more sweeping. You just like blow that right out. So yeah. So that's another item that I was kind of impressed with. And so anyway, I thought I'd show that to you. I brought it in here because yesterday, one of the things I did is I ran network cable from one end of the house all the way into my garage, because I've been using Wi-Fi, but it's just not quite fast enough. And I have gig service to the house, so I wanted to have gig service out here. So now I'm hardwired to gig service, so we shouldn't have any issues with buffering or any of that other fun stuff. So anyway, so that's what I was doing yesterday. I can't really show you that project because it's already done. So the other thing that I was going to do today is do question for question. So I usually how we do that, some of the people, some people I know well because they've been with me for a while, but then people join that I don't know. Maybe it's their first time or second time to join, and getting a lot of those. We have people who join that I don't know on TikTok, and people that join the live that I don't know on YouTube. So I like to do question for question. So I will randomly ask a specific person a question, and then you get to ask me a question, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. So the lucky person, let's see if this person actually responds. I can't make you respond or engage, but I'll give you a few minutes to answer, and then you get to ask me a question. So here's my question, and it's for Mark Darlington, 7724, who joined us on YouTube and said, "Hey, so Mark, tell me what state you're from, and what's the weather like where you're at?" And we'll wait for him to give us a quick response. Tractor Man 44 just joined. Hey man, what's up? Oh, Tractor Man 44. If y'all haven't checked out Tractor Man 44 on YouTube or TikTok, go check him out. He's got some great videos. Yeah, great guy. Casey Boom. Absolutely. Leo Danny, thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. And then the rose too. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And Ed sent me a heart. Mia, thank you. So, on YouTube, I've been going through this class that I was invited to from YouTube employees out of California, and they're talking about lives and some of the things that they're doing. And, you know, it looks like to me, I'm just saying, looks like to me that they're trying to do some of the similar things that have been available on TikTok for a while, like emojis and, you know, hearts when you like something. And of course, YouTube's always had super chats and this, that, and the other, but they do have some new features coming out on the vertical lives for sure. I hadn't played with a lot of them yet, but there you go. Holy moly. Tractor Man, just finishing up dealing with 8 inches of snow. Wow. Tough 415 just joined. Good morning. All right, here we go. Mark is either not still with us or he's not answering. I don't know. Let's see here. Has anyone seen the YouTube shorts of Mount Everest climbs? OMG. So sad, but interesting. I'll have to check that out, Kelly. Good morning. Mowing God's with us. Thank you. Tractor Man. That Tractor Man sucks. Yeah. Most of the, well, in Central Texas, it was more ice pellets that piled up that looked like snow, but it really wasn't snow. And yeah, it took several days for it to, the temp stayed down. So it's probably yesterday, and there's still few remnants of ice. And, I actually firsthand, because of I had about 3 inches of solid ice on my driveway, and I needed to go somewhere, but I couldn't get out of the driveway because I was iced in, and so had to break out my square face shovel, and on the day where it got above freezing, and put some water on it. And I think shoveling snow would have been easier because it took me probably 2 hours to get all of the ice off of the driveway so that I could get my truck out. And I'm trying to get it off so that it also dries, the concrete dries before it refreezes. So it took a couple of days to get all that done. And then I have 2 back patios, had to do the same thing there. So I didn't shovel snow, but I did shovel ice. Back in the woods, shaded driveway. Yeah, that's the same thing here. Everybody on one side of the street, a couple of days earlier, got a full day of sun, and their driveways were clear, and the rest of us are on the opposite side. The sidewalks, the driveways, everything was still solid ice 2 or 3 days after the opposite side of the street was clear. So, and it's just because they got more sunlight on that side of the street than we did. So anyway. Okay, Mark is either not with us still or just chooses not to answer, which is okay. Kelly, let me ask Kelly. Kelly, tell me, remind me, because I think you told me once before, where are you from? And got any kids? No, guys. And just to let everybody know, I'm married. Been married, fixing to be 48 years this coming June. So I'm happily married. I'm not searching. I'm just asking random questions. Good morning. So far, I'm back in the woods. Snow is easier to work than ice. Yes, it is. All right, so I'll share the information. Kelly is from Michigan. She has 2 kids, 21, 26. And yeah. Well, you go, girl. Thank you for engaging. Appreciate it. So that's what we know about Kelly over here on YouTube. She is married with 2 daughters, 21 and 26. And she's joined us a couple times, so thank you. And you know, she also posted, in case anybody's interested, on YouTube Shorts. Apparently, there's some shorts about Mount Everest climbs, and she says they're really interesting, but kind of sad too. So I'm sure that it probably talks about. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it probably talks about people who attempted to climb Everest and didn't make it. That's I don't know if I'd ever do that, but I understand how people could get really interested in it. So let me see here. Who's over here on TikTok? Okay, Tractor Man 44. So we are doing question for question today. So Kelly, did you have a question for me? Let me give her the opportunity to see if she had a question for me. Yeah, I was pretty young. My daughter was born, I was 20. And my wife was 21. I think she was 21. What's my favorite sport? College football is my favorite sport. I played football from you know, pee-wee to all the way to college, and then I got hurt playing my very first year as a freshman, and I wasn't a star by a long shot. And I played for a small university, and yeah, got hurt, and that was the end of that. And the cow cop would know. I played for Sam Houston State University my freshman year, and boy, I tell you what, that's some tough. You know, you think high school ball's tough. You get it. You move up to that college level. Those guys don't play. They will take you out of this world quickly. So softball and horseshoes. I like horseshoes too. My granddaughters played softball. They really liked it. They played all the way through high school. So yeah, good, cool. That's how question for question works, guys. Backyard Mule, thanks for the follow, buddy. Hey, Backyard Mule, since you followed, you get to be the next person. So, Backyard Mule, tell me what your first name is and what state you live in. Hey, George, good morning. So the question is to Backyard Mule on TikTok, who just gave me a follow. Thank you. And I'm just curious what the person's first name is and where they're from. I knew I'd like you. I like that Backyard Mule. I thought that was a pretty good handle. So just so everybody knows, Backyard Mule has responded. His name's David, and he lives right here in the great state of Texas. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Thank you for the follow and thank you for joining. Great. Okay, here we go. I'm going to ask another person on TikTok. George just joined us a few minutes ago. And I can't ask George his first name because I already know what his first name is, George. So, George, let me see. Tell us exactly where you're from, what city. And are you married and have kids? And Backyard Mule, or David, while George is, doing his thing and answering that question, you get to ask me a question. Connor over here on YouTube joined. Good morning. Today we're just kind of, it's Friday. We're also thankful that Friday got here. And if you have to work, okay. So here's what George said. George is from Fordland, Missouri, married, 2 grown sons and 2 grandkids. Man, aren't the grandkids great, George? I love them. I'm tell you, I tell people all the time, I think I was a better, well, I know I'm a better grandfather than I was a father. And I think a lot of it was because I was very young. I was 20 when my daughter was born, and, had to work 2 or 3 jobs most of my life just to keep a roof over our head and everybody fed. So I missed out on a lot of stuff when she was little. And I didn't realize how much stuff that you miss out on. And then you have grandkids and you find out. So grandkids are great. If you get to that stage and you have grandkids, you'll find it's a whole different ball game. You get to spoil them and spoil them and spoil them. So yeah, grandkids are great. That's what Chris says. Chris says, Cal Cop over here on TikTok, Chris says that grandkids are better than your own kids. You love your kids, but there's something about grandkids that are, they just take over. It's easier to raise us. See, George is the same way. George spent, like he said, he spent a lot of his time working when he's young, and that's a lot of times. I think, at least it used to be. Maybe not as much now, but maybe so. I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. Sorry. That fathers are disconnected a lot of times, and I don't think that they're really disconnected. I think young fathers, or any fathers really, I can't imagine having 3 or 4 kids to support. I barely was able to get by with just trying to take care of my wife and one. So I can't imagine people who have 3 or 4 kids and the expense that goes with them. But yeah, when you're young, you don't make that much money and you have to work a lot of hours. And, for me, I worked 2 and 3 jobs most of my life. I think I was probably 52 or 53 when I finally had a job that paid me enough money that I didn't have to have a second job. So you can see most of the time I've always had at least 2 jobs. But anyway, and I think that's the case for a lot of people. It looks like it was for George, and that's why we depend on our wives so much, because they spend so much time raising our children, and us too sometimes. Anyway, I want to go back to real quick. Good morning, John. How's it going, buddy? John's all the way from Australia. And now that he's on, I'm going to ask him a question, but I wanted to answer Backyard Mule. Where are you located? I am in Pflugerville, Texas, David, which is, just north of Austin. So anyway, back to, let me go here, George, I think it was George's. Oh, Tractor Man, my son has 4 under the age of 6. Wow. Tractor Man, you need to explain to him it's not in the water. That's an old joke. And both daughters have to. Man, Tractor Man, you got a bunch of grandkids. You've been blessed with a ton of them. My dad was 1 of 5. My father was a only child to 2 deaf parents, and my mother had a sister, and also from deaf parents. So not a lot of on my side of the family is really small, and I don't have very many family members that are still alive. Now, my wife's side of the family, let me tell you, she's got a huge family. And, you know, I guess one of the things that I always kind of brag about her family is they have been having family reunions. Yes, family reunions. I know you don't hear about those very often, but they still have family reunions every year. And they're going close to I want to say they're like at year 180. So like 180 years, they've been having the exact same family reunion. Of course, different people, because people come and go. But they've been having a family reunion. It's always in June, and it's been in Oatmeal, Texas, which is just a spot in the road. There's nothing there but an old schoolhouse. And of course, over the years, the schoolhouse it's still standing, but it's a historical marker, and there's a building kind of behind it that has been built over the years where they actually have like kitchen facilities and stuff. So they still have their family reunions there. It's funny, I have people come up to my front door all the time, and they're like, "Hey, what is that by your door?" I said, it's a stump of a cedar tree that was cut down on that property, and we took the stump and sanded it, of course, peeled off the loose stuff, cleaned it up, and sealed it, and then it's got and I got that at 175 years. So there's not very many families that still do family reunions that long or that late. And, you know, I guess one of the stories that they always tell is the very first family reunion. There you go, Tractor Man 155. Is that the very first family reunion, they were going to barbecue pigs for the meal. And while the pigs were roasting, a bear came up and, of course, nabbed the meat and ran off with it before they could complete the cooking of it. And so all the men got together, went out, hunted the bear, found him, shot the bear, brought the bear back, and the first reunion, that's what they had, was bear meat. So yeah, true story. So there's lots of history, lots of history there. Does everyone's cat or dog watch TV? My dogs do watch TV. It's unusual, isn't it? That I've got one, Roxy, and she's probably the biggest TV watcher. We have two miniature schnauzers, and they have kind of like separation anxiety. And what we found is if we have to leave the house, we turn the TV on, and it, for some reason, keeps them calm, and they'll just hang out and watch TV. They haven't learned how to change the channel yet, thank goodness, but they do like to watch TV. No joke. You put them on the nature show. Okay, that Kelly's saying that her animals like to watch TV. She puts the TV on the nature show. That's pretty good. Oh, George, all right, down. 55 from you. Okay. Asian Silk Prince, howdy, all the way from Houston, Texas. Good morning. All right, so let me make sure. Have I answered everybody's questions? 6 month, 2-week trip. So John has a 6-month-old. John's from Australia. I've never been there, but I've always wanted to. That's a place I would like to go visit, I think. And he has a 6-month-old, just got home from a 2-week work trip. Oh man, being away working is tough. I had a job at one point where I traveled Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Louisiana, and I drove everywhere for the most part. And luckily for me, I would leave on usually on Sunday afternoons and not come home until Friday evenings. And I did that for like 10 or 12 years, and then finally I got an easy out. The guy that owned the company sold it, and in about 6 months, the company that bought it let us all go. So I think that was probably a blessing. And since then, I've never had a job that I had to travel, and I don't think I would ever take another job where I had to travel and be gone from home like that. But at the time, it seemed like, it was the best paying one that I'd been offered, so that's why I took it. I'm away again all next week. Okay. John, can I ask you a quick question? What do you do? Since this is question for question. Really? I didn't. So, Chris, I know you were a DPS officer. And were you stationed out of Amarillo or Dallas? I can't remember. For some reason, I thought maybe Dallas, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. Okay, so you were out of Amarillo. So when you worked for DPS, you still lived in the same place you live now? Martin, how's it going? I hadn't seen that much snow since January of '91. Wow. Martin, where are you from that you've seen lots of snow? 75-inch squirrel is huge. Yeah, that is. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading some of your other stuff, Martin. 10 inches of snow in North Texas last Friday. Wow. What part of North Texas do you live in? You talking about up north of Dallas or? Yeah. Well, when my dad worked for the government, he had to travel a lot. Sometimes just inside the state, a lot of times it was out of state, and sometimes for a week or two at a time. You work for a tech consulting firm. Accenture. Oh, you work for Accenture. Okay. I don't want to say anything bad about Accenture. The people who work for Accenture are great. Unfortunately, I lost my job because the company I worked for decided to farm out all the work to who? Accenture. You train clients in tool systems and sales. Okay. All right. What people need to understand is Accenture does a lot of different things for a lot of different companies, and there's tons of them. I've trained Microsoft, Meta, Google, very big companies. Yeah. I worked for Marriott, so yeah. We do that a lot. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I mean, I have a couple of friends that work for Accenture here in the United States. We train Marriott. Yeah, we didn't have very, very good success. Most of the people that Marriott used with Accenture were outside the U.S. There were language barriers. Lots of levels, and I mean, I understand. Anytime you farm out stuff, they don't know all the ins and outs of the company, even though they're trying. So there you go. Sherman. Okay. Yeah, you're just outside of Dallas then. 10 inches. Wow. Well, I knew we had a lot down here in Central Texas. I didn't realize that they had that much in North Texas. And, they talked about how that Dallas-Fort Worth area, that whole Metroplex area up there in North Texas was going to get hammered. And they did. And I'm sure the same thing happened to them over in the Panhandle. Well, that's crazy. Well, that's good to know, John. John works for Accenture. So now if anybody asks me, do you have inside contact with Accenture? I do. His name's John. He's in Australia. So yeah, I have a couple of friends that got laid off in previous years and that went to work for Accenture. They all work remote now. Thanks. I appreciate that. Brian Van. Hey man, how's it going? Okay, so let's just see where we're going. So we know Martin is in Sherman, Texas. He told us that. So thanks for sharing that with us, Martin. Appreciate you. I hope you get out. I hope you get past all that snow, ice. In Central Texas, it looked like snow, but I think the majority of it was sleet that looked like snow and turned into inches and inches of ice. And, you know, trying to get that ice to melt and go away a lot of times takes several days of above freezing temperatures. And now, like I said, I think we actually did get somewhat of a cold front blew in last night, and they're talking about weekend temperatures down below 20 degrees again. I don't think we're supposed to get any more precipitation, but it's definitely going to be below freezing. All right, let's see who else. We know Chris worked for DPS, and you know, he got sent all over the state for hurricanes. Really, hurricanes? Okay. Huh. So, Chris, you got sent to the border. I mean, I know that I've heard the governor send DPS officers everywhere. I mean, DPS officers have jurisdiction in the entire state of Texas, so they can be sent all over the place. So Chris has worked hurricanes. He also did training for DPS. Chris, were you a sergeant, lieutenant, captain? You were upper. You weren't a patrol officer. I know you were at one point, but I think you had told me that you sergeant. Okay, all right. Yeah. So he taught different classes, and I'm sure he still he went out on patrol sometimes. Maybe not. Maybe he had as a sergeant. I'm not sure. Okay. So Chris taught leadership training for DPS while he was a sergeant. Prior to that, I'm sure he was a patrol person. Did you, when you were on patrol, was it in the Texas Panhandle then too? Since you were out of Amarillo? For some reason, I thought I saw something. The unofficial Jordan. Good morning. Yeah, the weather. You're right, Martin. Yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, we have more people on. I just want to reiterate real quick while we do have a lot of people on. I am going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away this bench-made pocket knife. We're going to have a drawing. If you want to enter the drawing, you need to send me your first and last name to my email address, daveshop2@gmail.com. That'll get you entered. I'll show you real quick what the knife looks like. It's a great everyday carry pocket knife because it's not huge, so it's not real heavy. You can see super sharp, made in Oregon. So it's USA made, got a little pocket clip on it. This. Anyway, I got it as a sample from Benchmade, and I'm going to do a video on it. but I'm also going to give it away. So we're going to have a drawing for that. So if you're interested, please don't wait. I haven't set an exact date, but it's going to be soon that we're going to hold the drawing during a live. And then whoever wins will, I'll respond to your email, and I'll need to get your address and phone number so I can ship to you. You have to be inside the United States. I'm not going to ship outside the U.S. Too expensive. But inside the United States, if you're the winner of this pocket knife, I will, once we draw for it, I will ship it to you. And then I have some other items that I'm going to also do drawings for in the future. So it's, like I said, it's my way of saying thank you for all the support that I get from everybody who joins the lives. It really does mean a lot when you like, share, follow, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. If you don't know, I'll tell you straight up, I'm on a quest. I want to get to 10,000 followers on my TikTok account and my YouTube account, because for some reason, with the affiliate side, which kind of pays the bills, well, pays the bills, pays me some money. That 10,000 follower mark just seems to be the first big hurdle. You know, with YouTube, the first big hurdle is 1,000 followers. Then they give you some stuff, but the next really big hurdle is 10,000, and we're on track. We're going in that direction. So, and it's free to subscribe and join and like and do all of that fun stuff. You're not going to get inundated with junk emails. So if you do send me an email to enter, just so you know, I don't keep an email list. I don't share them. I don't do any of that. It's strictly a way to get you to enter the giveaway. And, you know, you just have to trust me that I'm not going to do any of that other stuff. And if you do, then you'll see. I'll give this away and we'll do a drawing. So, and then after this, we'll do a different drawing. I've got 2 or 3 things kind of in the thing. I just kind of want to see how it works, and if very many people want to participate. So anyway, we got some other items that we're going to do the same thing with, but I don't want to show them to you till I actually get ready to do the giveaway. So thank you for that amount of time. You can, if you know someone else who joins the lives, but maybe not on today, make sure that you can share the information that we're going to do a drawing and give away that pocket knife. Some people might be interested in a pocket knife. Other people may not. But I do have some other items, like I said, in the future I'll be giving away too. So, yeah. Let's see. It's, what else? Let me see. Who else have I not asked a question of? So I know Ed, I think, pretty well. Let me see it. Ed, let me know. Are you still? Yeah, he's still with us. So I have a question for Ed. Let's see. Sorry. Yep. Okay. So he's still on. So here's my question to Ed. So just so everyone knows, I'm going to preface this in advance. Ed is a Lutheran minister, and he lives in northern Illinois. And he and Chris are two. Chris, and Casey are probably my 3 original long-term supporters, okay, since I started going live. And Ed, you've heard me talk about, he's the one who does Bible study. So here's my question to you, Ed. So I think I know some of this, but maybe y'all don't, and so I'll share it with you. So I've shared some of his information, but so I have 2 questions. One, Ed, tell me how many kids you have and how long you've been married. That's the first question. Ed's going to get to, and then I have a second question for him. So let's let him answer that question. I know he has grown children. So there you go. Ed has 3 sons, and I know he's been married a while, but I'm not sure exactly how many years. He's got 3 sons, so it's got to be a while. And he's a bit younger than I am. Lux, good morning. Thank you for joining. Okay, so while Ed's typing, if he types like I type, man, can you imagine typing like that? That's crazy. Plus just joined. Good morning. Okay, so here's the other question I have for you, Ed, too, while you're on. What made you become a Lutheran minister? I've heard you talk about the fact that you grew up in the Lutheran church, but what made you want to, as we call it down here in the South, become a preacher? And we'll talk about something else while he's thinking on that one. I'm sure he's got a really good answer. But I'm just curious, what draws people to become preachers? And if you have an opinion or an idea why you think people become preachers, let me know. I just think it takes here we go. 6th grade teacher. So this is what Ed says. I'm just reading what he's putting. If you're on TikTok, you can see. If you're on YouTube, you can't. So I'm going to read it. 6th grade teacher said I was his little theologian in class. That stuck with me for a long time. So you see, teachers, I think, a lot of times I wonder if people realize how much influence teachers can have on our children, good and bad. I can remember I had a football coach that, I think he had a long-lasting effect on one, that I continued to play sports because I was really, by the time I got to high school, I was really kind of burnt out of playing sports and nearly quit. And instead, ended up playing 4 years of high school and got a partial scholarship to play at college level. Like I said, I got hurt, and that was the end of that, and didn't do that anymore. Was going into computer engineering, but couldn't handle the math from college year. I feel you there. I feel you there. So switch to theological languages. And that was your ticket to seminary. So, Ed, you had to complete like 4 years of college and then go to seminary school. Is that correct? Or was it all kind of linked together? So just so y'all know, now people on TikTok can see this, but people on YouTube cannot. Lux is also someone who pops in and out and joins the lives on TikTok. And Lux is his name, Lux. And apparently he's a teacher. So Lux, tell us, what grade do you teach? And he mentions in his comment that, excuse me, I'm sorry. Lux is a female. Is Lux short for something else, or is it just Lux? Lux is a female. I always think, coaches are great, but I always thought female teachers had more influence. They did in my life. Probably the first teacher that I remember to this day that I think had an influence on my life. Her name was Miss Williams, and she was my 3rd grade teacher. And she was the first teacher that allowed me to write left-handed and not force me to try to learn how to write right-handed. And so Yeah. Tupa 322, heat wave, 20 minutes south of Minneapolis. It's only 1 below 0. Well, you can go out and go swimming in that temp. I mean, if you're from Minneapolis and it's only 1 below 0, y'all are probably running around in wife beaters and boxer shorts. Okay, so Ed goes on to say, so he did have to get a BA first, and then went on to seminary school. So how many years of school was it, Ed? Is that like, so 4 for college, and then how long is seminary school? That's my dog's name. Oh, Lux. So guys, let me just straighten this all out here. I'm sorry, I was confused. Lux is the handle of the TikTok person. Can you share your first name with me so I'll stop calling you Lux? Lux is a dog. The lady that uses that handle, I don't know what her first name is. So I'm reading different stuff. Oh. Oh, my daughter's speech pathologist. Okay. Wow. All right. Tupa. It's funny. I see people running at the gas station dressed like that. Okay. So Ed went to school for 8 years. Yeah, he had a 4-year bachelor's degree and then 4 years of seminary. That's crazy, you know. So it's funny how God kind of leads you into different professions. You know, people ask me all the time about, you know, how did you get into technology? I don't know. I've done a lot of different kind of jobs. I thought I was always going to work in law enforcement, and that just didn't work out. I, you know, worked in forms of it for a short period of time, but ended up not working out that way. So I've done a lot of other jobs, sales, was in the coffee business for a long time. I owned my own business for a while. And then I got into technology, and voila. And that's what I've been doing until now. And now I'm focusing the next 6 months strictly on my social media and see where that's going to take us. So anyway, and maybe retire. Other than this would be that would be my that's what I'd really like to do. I think it's been a tough transition, but but the longer I'm away from that, the better it is, and so yeah, I think it's all going to work out. Joanna, okay. So Lux is Joanna's dog, and that's what she uses for a handle, but her name's Joanna. And I don't want to make sure I missed anything. What did you say? Sorry. 4 years of seminary. So Joanna is a certified P12 in special education. Well, that's fun. You know, Joanna, my wife retired from school district. She did nearly 39 years. She was a transportation director. And so she worked, and I can remember throughout her career, for many years, she transported special ed children. She worked, at one point, she trained people to work with special needs people, and then, you know, moved into that. So I'm pretty familiar. I know a lot of people that are in the education business. Anyway, it's a great profession. I think a lot of people don't understand these days how hard it is. And if a P12, so that means, I'm guessing, Joanna, that means high school level, like 12th grade. Thank you for sharing that with us, Joanna. I appreciate it. Okay. All right, Ed wants to ask a question. I'm sorry, I missed that. Go ahead, Ed. You get to ask a question. All grades. Okay. So Jana teaches all grades. Okay. And she loves working with the kids, but she hates the administration. You hear that a lot from teachers. You do. Tupa has 3 aunts that are nuns. Oh, okay. Jana. Okay. I was saying Joanna. I'm sorry. I've just butchered this. Her first name's spelled Johna. Jana. Okay. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right now. She teaches all grades. That's great. Oh. Jana, thank you. Yeah, that's the redneck that comes out in me, I guess. I'm so thankful people are patient with me. Oh, okay. So Jana doesn't teach any longer. She must be retired. Nothing wrong with retirement. He asked me the other day, they were like, man, what have you been doing? I said, man, I have been so busy. I think when you work, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, when you do come home, you're usually spent, and you only do what you really absolutely have to do, and try to get some rest. And when you don't have to go to work anymore, I just look around and I'm like, oh, I need to do this project. I got that project I want to do. And then other stuff pops in. I'm able to spend more time, with my social media. And I didn't realize how much time I could spend on it, but you'd be surprised. And so, yeah, all kinds of stuff. And so now the days sometimes blend together. I'm like, what day is it? And I've made the comment to my wife the other day. I was like, I don't know how the heck I was ever able to work and do all of this too. But I surprised her yesterday. So there's 2 things I've done since not going to work. Very interesting. Yeah, redneck. I saw something recently. I want to say that it started, was it during the Civil War or something? And redneck didn't mean like that you were uneducated. That came later, but originally, I want to say it was a group of men who wore like a red handkerchief around their neck, and it was, I can't remember if it was to protest the Civil War or coal miners. There you go. I remember seeing something about it, and there were several different things that talked about, redneck. Then it started way back, and then it moved forward, and I think it said in the 50s is when the word redneck kind of became a slur to people in the South, like that you were possibly uneducated. I had a lot of poverty-stricken students and a wonderful connection with them. Jana, that's great. I mean, it's not great that there are students that are poverty-stricken because learning and emotional behavior disorders. Yeah, my oldest granddaughter, it's so funny. She's going to college, and she initially, her first semester, or her first year, she went to Southwest Texas State, and stayed in the dorm, did the whole freshman thing, and realized that how expensive it was, one, and two, it just really didn't fit her. And so it was pretty emotional for her to tell us that she didn't want to go back there. But understandable. She just felt it was a lot of pressure, and I think a lot of that comes from the high schools and what is currently shoved down their throats. But now she does her college online. It's much more affordable, and she's able to work, and she works with what do I want to say? Jenna, you work with children that are on the spectrum. So all the way from I think 2 to 8 years old. And who would have thought? I didn't think that would be what she would be doing, but she really loves it. There's days she comes home really frustrated. It's a real high burnout profession, but so far she really likes it, and it's close to home, and so I was kind of stunned about that. I'm waiting for Ed to ask a question. I guess posts are always getting through. I didn't. Ed, what was your question? Because it's 7:24, and usually I kind of shut down about 7:30, and but I wanted to give Ed that opportunity to ask the question. Ed sends another rose. Thank you, Ed. Good morning, everybody on YouTube. We had our YouTube training class yesterday, and they were talking about people. I'm trying to get through. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Don't mean to rush you. User 756 just joined. Good morning. Martin, no other. So anyway, we had the class on YouTube yesterday, and they were talking about other people, other creators that were on and talking about going live and that type of stuff that wow, your question doesn't go through. That's crazy. Wonder why. Huh. Well, Ed, worst case scenario, one more time. What's the last time you shaved? Okay, so when was the last time I shaved my mustache off? So I can tell you I've shaved my mustache probably 3 times in my lifetime. And when I say my lifetime, since I've been married, in the last 47, 48 years, I've shaved it off maybe 3 times. And one of the 3 times was an accident. I actually had a beard and was shaving the beard off, and I guess I just spaced it and cut one half and shaved off one half of my mustache, so I couldn't leave half of it. So I ended up shaving all of it off. But my wife, whatever possessed me each time to shave it off, I don't know. But sometimes things just, you think, I think I want to just shave my mustache off. So you shave it off. And so all 3 times my wife said, no. She goes, you have to grow that back. You look weird. And I'm like, okay. And I don't know. I'm so used to seeing myself with a mustache. When I do shave it off, I think I do look weird. I don't even know how to safely shave my top lip without cutting myself, probably. But so probably only 3 times in the last 48 years, and one of those 3 times I know was a mistake. Now, Occasionally, I am motivated to grow a goatee, but and it's usually in the winter months if I do it. But it just eventually bothers me so bad it starts itching underneath my neck, and my grandkids don't like it, so I end up shaving it off. So everybody, the one thing that they put up with is my mustache. What was I saying about yeah, it's funny how I always, I think about, I see people, I guess the thing this day is for men is beards. And I've probably grown a beard maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. And I don't have a problem growing a beard. I have a pretty heavy a beard, but it just drives me nuts. It starts itching under my neck and on my cheek. Yeah. So I don't have a beard, but I see people, and they have beards, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it, but for them, they're good. And that's the other thing too is I shave pretty regular, like every day. I either shave with my regular razor, or if I'm being lazy, I have a little electric shaver that I'll just kind of touch up with. But I shave every day. And I know people that that they won't shave for a week and they look like a hobo, and then they'll shave, and I'm like, I don't know how you do that. Most of my jobs, because they were either in sales or technology, and in the professional world, at least when I grew up coming up the food chain, is you didn't come to work unshaven. If you came to work and you forgot to shave, and it happened from time to time, you would be asked by everybody in the world, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" And you'd be like, "What?" "Well, nothing." "Well, you didn't shave today." Why didn't you? "Oh yeah, I didn't feel good, or I forgot, or spaced it, or whatever." I mean, it didn't happen to me very often, but occasionally. And I can definitely understand that when you're a preacher or a minister, or whatever you like to be called. I always call you, in the South, we call people preachers that are preachers that preach the word, and other people call them ministers, priests. But anyway, I just call you a preacher. I understand why you're clean shaven. I've never met a preacher that wasn't clean shaven. However, there probably are some now, but yeah. So there you go. That's what I can tell you about my mustache. That's kind of a joke, because I'll say, yeah, I've been growing that since I was 11. Well, that's not just a farce. I had to start shaving when I was 11. I got sent home from school because I had peach fuzz, and the school didn't allow that, and so I remember being sent home thinking, oh, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. I got this note, and I have to show it to my dad, and I'm gonna be in trouble. And of course, he cracked up laughing, and I had to learn how to shave. And of course, when you start shaving, then at first you don't shave every day, but once you start shaving, then that's pretty much you're going to be shaving the rest of your life. And so yeah, and like by the time I got to high school, I had this, and so yeah, the girls liked it. They always thought I was older than I was, but not so much. Anyway, hey guys, it's Friday. It's 7:32. I want everybody to have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully you won't get snowed in or have any really bad weather or anything like that. Thank you everybody for joining the live today. Like I said, without all of you, this makes no sense. One last quick reminder, we're doing a giveaway for the Benchmade knife. If you want to be entered in the drawing, I haven't decided exactly what day we're going to draw on. but it is going to be during a live. I need you to email me at daveshop2@gmail.com. So with your first and last name, so that I can enter your name in the contest. And probably next week, I'll let you know what day we're going to actually draw on. I want to give everybody the chance that wants to enter the drawing, and then we'll see how we'll see how. I'm really curious how many people will actually want to be a part of the drawing, just out of curiosity. So anyway, I hope it's a bunch. And then if you're the one that wants to win that knife, you're probably hoping there's not very many. It don't matter how many, if it's 3 people, then we'll draw from those 3 people, or if it's 30 people, or ever how many people, put their name in the hat, we'll draw live on the live. So, and we're going to give that away. And then I've got some other stuff in mind to give away too, like I said. So probably Monday again, I'll show the Benchmade knife, just so that you'll see me show it several times. And this only will be shipped to anyone in the United States. If you're outside the United States, unfortunately, you won't get to participate because shipping outside the U.S. is super expensive. Anyway, so there you go. That's what we're going to do. Everybody have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Go do something kind for someone, because you never know what your kindness does. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for all the continued support. Like, share, follow, do all that fun stuff. It's all free, and have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you Monday morning, 6 a.m. right back here on Morning Coffee Talk with Dave. Everybody have a great weekend.